What's going on, guys? This is Prodigy, and today I'm bringing you some gameplay footage of Destiny. This is just going to be me playing a match in the Crucible, and I'm only level 22, so I'm nothing fancy. 23, am I 20? No, I think I'm 22, but I think I leveled up to 23 in this match right here. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is about Destiny in general, which is why you're seeing the gameplay, because I honestly feel that Destiny had the potential to be one of the greatest shooters, MMO kind of genre game. It was different in my first experience with the game. It was something unique that I hadn't experienced a whole lot before, and I thought this was going to be a great game, an amazing game all around, which it kind of is already because the game looks beautiful. It looks amazing. The graphics are out of this world. The combat, again, amazing. Bungie knows how to do combat. They're really good at that. We know that from the earlier Halo games. But as good as this game looks, and as good as the combat is, and as fun as the Crucible and PvP in this game is, I really feel like they just dropped the ball on this game, and let me tell you why. I kind of, excuse me, I kind of touched on this topic in one of my previous videos when I talked about the future of gaming. And the reason I feel like Destiny dropped the ball here is because they are literally going DLC crazy. And when I first got the game, I got the game kind of late actually, because I didn't get an Xbox One until maybe I want to say maybe June. It was sometime in the early summer of this year, 2015. So I was kind of late on the Xbox One train. I was still enjoying my 360, but Destiny was the first game I got on my Xbox One, and because I heard great things about it, it looked great, so I wanted to try it out. And when I first got the game, I was enjoying it a lot. It was really fun. I still enjoy it. But at this point, they had already released two DLCs of the House of Wolves and the other one. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I didn't actually buy those because I was just gonna, play the story mode, and I didn't exactly know what those DLCs were anyway. I didn't really look them up to see what they included. But I was just like, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'm just gonna play the story, play some Crucible matches, level up, and try and get some nice gear. So after I, finish out the story, I get deeper into it. I find out that this DLC includes more of the story. Both of them, and it kind of threw me off because I'm like, wait, so you leave the story incomplete and then release it in DLC? That doesn't really make sense to me to kind of release an incomplete story or single players of the game and then release it bit by bit, piece by piece in future DLCs. That seems backwards completely to me. And I don't know, the story in itself in Destiny, like I said, it looks great, it feels great. But it didn't really feel like a traditional campaign, which I suppose it's not supposed to. But I just felt like it could have been better. They could have had more cutscenes. They could have, because every time you start a mission, you're kind of just flying in the ship and the guys talking, and giving you a little background. But I feel like they could have done better than that. Just to kind of make it more like what's the word I'm looking for? It's just to kind of capture the experience of it more and make it feel like a real story. You know, kind of gets you some attachment to the characters or whatever. But that's another topic. But anyways, it just seems backwards to me to release the future campaign missions in DLCs. And so I said I wasn't going to get those. And then in September of this year, they released The Taken King. And I'm sure you guys know what The Taken King is. And let me tell you about The Taken King. When I first heard about The Taken King, I I was actually kind of excited because you're like, oh wow, new subclasses. This is gonna be pretty cool. You know, I might get this DLC. But then it was $40, and I was like, what? That is insane. I've never heard of a $40 DLC or expansion pack that didn't that included, especially that included as little as Destiny did. In my opinion, there was very little content added for a $40 DLC. You know, so it wasn't worth it. So I was just like, no, I'm not buying that. I'm not playing into that system. I'm gonna stay away from it. Which sucks because, you know, you're missing out on a lot of the game now. And I feel it shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't be missing out on the game just because you don't buy the DLC. And a perfect example of that is the Crucible. Because prior to the Taken King coming out, you know, if you wanted to play the Crucible, you go in the Crucible, you know, you go into orbit, you go to the Crucible planet thing, and and you choose what type of game mode you want to play, whether it's free for all, team deathmatch, control. You know, you had options. You could choose. But after the Taken King comes out, all of that is gone. And they're like, "Oh, you didn't buy the Taken King? Oh, well, you're not important, and you can't choose any of that anymore. If you go to the Crucible and you don't have the Taken King, you can only choose from a 6v6, a 3v3, or a free for all. All the other game modes that you could choose from are locked, and you can't choose which game mode you play. It's random, so it's just you want to play 6v6, 3v3, or free for all. That's it. You know, we'll decide which game mode you play. We'll decide which map you play, and all that stuff. So it was like they were punishing players, giving them less features than they had before just because they didn't buy the Taken King. And that really turned me off and made me not want to buy the Taken King even more because I just feel like that's not right. So I just feel like because of these things, that Destiny is not going to be as great as it could be just because it doesn't really sit well with gamers. The things that you're doing. I know a lot of people still stand by Destiny and are hardcore Destiny fans, but that's just how I feel about this whole thing. And so I still play Destiny from time to time because, like I said, it feels great and the combat is really fun. But I won't be buying any DLCs or doing any of that. I'll just be having fun on my own. And you know, we'll see what happens in the future with Destiny. But in the meantime, that's all for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please, of course, don't forget to leave a like. I would really appreciate that. And if you want, you could always subscribe for my future videos. I'd love you guys forever. But that's all for this video, guys. Once again, my name is Prodigy. Thanks for watching.